You've been told a lie about what makes a man strong. That strength is the loud one, the hard one, the man who feels nothing, who never bends, who wins by being the toughest thing in the room. Now picture the opposite. A soft-spoken man in a cardigan his mother knitted by hand. He talks so quietly you have to lean in, and he tells you he likes you, just the way you are. Everything in you wants to call that weak. It isn't. The strongest man who ever appeared on American television never raised his voice, never threw a punch, and never once pretended not to feel. His whole life was a quiet argument that the tough guy version of strength is a fraud, and the proof is on the record. In 1963, a young minister was ordained, but not to lead a church. The presbytery gave him a strange and specific charge: to do his ministry with children and their families through the mass media. His congregation would be children. His pulpit would be the one machine every parent feared was rotting their minds: television. He looked at that loud, cynical box and decided to aim it the other way. Where television screamed, he would whisper. Where it sold, he would give. Where it dazzled, he would slow all the way down and simply pay attention to one child at a time. He wasn't avoiding the fight. He walked straight into the meanest arena in the culture, carrying nothing but kindness. That isn't retreat. That's nerve. Here's what people get wrong about gentle men. They think gentle means easy, soft, untrained. His gentleness was the most disciplined thing about him. Every morning he woke before 5 to pray and to read. Every morning the same swim, the same scale. For 30 years he held his body to the exact same weight. 143 pounds. 1, 4, 3. It was his private code. 1 letter in I, 4 in love, 3 in you. I love you. He disciplined his own body to the number that meant love. And every letter a child ever sent him, he read it, edited it, and signed it by hand. Understand what that is. Kindness repeated that precisely for that long is not a feeling that comes and goes. Gentleness wasn't his nature. It was his training. 1969, Washington. $20 million for public television sat on the chopping block, and the man holding the knife was Senator John Pastor. Impatient, blunt, a self-described tough guy who'd been read dull statements for 2 days. Witness after witness. He barely looked up. Then the quiet man set his papers down, and instead of arguing, he just talked. About children, about feelings. I give an expression of care every day to each child, he said, to help him realize that he is unique. If we can only make it clear that feelings are mentionable and manageable, we will have done a great service for mental health. And then, with no notes, he recited the words of a little song. A song about what a child does with anger. What do you do with the mad that you feel? The room went still, and the tough guy, the one with the knife, looked at this gentle man and said, "I'm supposed to be a pretty tough guy. This is the first time I've had goosebumps in 2 days. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million. 6 minutes. No raised voice. No threat. He didn't fight power. He disarmed it. And he kept doing it, pointing his gentleness exactly where the strong are taught not to look. 1969 again. Public swimming pools were still being drained rather than shared across the color line. So on his program, he set out a small plastic pool and invited a black officer to sit and cool his feet beside him. He lent the man a towel and then dried his own feet with the same towel. No speech, no outrage, just 2 men, 1 small pool, and a quiet act of integration, broadcast to a watching country. And there was a boy named Jeff, 10 years old, in an electric wheelchair, the kind of child the world looked away from. Fred didn't look away. He sat with him, asked him about the hard feelings, and the two of them sang, "It's You I Like." 18 years later, that boy came back to surprise him at a national ceremony, and Fred leapt out of his seat to get to him. He said it was the best thing that ever happened on his show. That's where gentleness aims, not at the easy and the powerful, at the left out, the overlooked, the ones nobody else made the time for. So what was all of it for? The discipline, the patience, the 30 years at 143 pounds. He told us in one sentence, everyone longs to be loved, and the greatest thing we can do is to let people know that they are loved and capable of loving. That was the whole mission. When he was a little boy and the news frightened him, his mother told him something he never forgot. "Look for the helpers," she said. "You will always find people who are helping." He spent the rest of his life being one, telling a generation of children, one at a time, through a cynical machine, the thing too few of them ever heard. You are special. There is no one in the whole world like you. And I like you, just the way you are. At the end of his life, they gave him a lifetime award, a room full of famous, powerful people. He walked to the microphone, and he didn't talk about himself. He said, "All of us have special ones who have loved us into being." And he asked that whole glittering room to do one thing with him, to take 10 seconds, just 10 seconds of silence, to think of the people who had helped them become who they are. And the room full of tough, successful people wept. So take yours, 10 seconds. You know who they are, the ones who were gentle with you when they didn't have to be. The strongest man on television never dominated anyone. He out-disciplined the disciplined, out-couraged the loud, and changed a country, one quiet kindness at a time. Anyone can be hard. The world is full of hard men. Be the gentle one. It is the rarest strength there is. Look for the helpers, and then, every single day, go be one.